Welcome back. This is day 5. You've made it 5 days, and I'm just excited for you. So thank you for joining me once again in the 30 days to learning how to make extra money. On day 5, we want to talk about the responsibility game. Responsibility and commitment, and how do you show up with that in your life, and how does that play out for you in your life? So let's start here. Responsibility. Are you responsible? Are you not? Well, most of us will say, hey, I'm responsible. I take charge. I do what I need to do. But do you truly take ownership? Ownership of where you are in life, like right now. Where are you in life? Are you happy with where you are? Are you on top of your game? And I want to say this, it's not because you want to make extra money or need to make extra money. That does not define how happy you are. That does not define whether you are taking ownership or not. Money does not define where you are in life. It's a part of it. So this question is not just a financial question. This is more a life question. Are you happy with where you are in life? Relationally, financially, spiritually, psychologically, are you, and now we must say economically and socially, are you happy with where you are in life? If not, why not? And are you taking ownership for that? That's what we're addressing today. Taking ownership of where you are in life, for your failures and your successes. So understand that failure is a part of life. Every single person that ever lived has failed in something or another. Me, multiple things. I've just failed, but I refuse to fail backwards. I fail forward continually. I've trained my mind to be mentally strong, to always assess a failure if I recognize them as a failure. I understand sometimes things happen in life and we don't even realize they're failures. So if you know already it's a failure, great, you can take ownership, you can deal with it. If you don't, and somebody does speak into your life and say, hey, you can up-level this, you can do better, or you failed at that and you thought you did not, then take ownership and deal with it and move forward, right? But I have failed more times than you and I can count, my dear. And it's not a bad thing. I just think it's just God showing and giving directions and reminding us that we might be going the wrong way. So oftentimes we fail because we're not on the right life path. We're not heading in the right direction. So take ownership and you can turn around. It's never too late to turn around. It's never too late to reset, restart, renew, rebirth. Just start over. Just press the reset button. You don't need to wait for January 31st on the calendar year to say, I'm going to start a new life. I'm going to start over. You can do it right now. I'm not even going to say today. You can do it right now. You can press reset. In a relationship, reset in your finances, reset in your spiritual life, and say, from this moment forward, my life will be better. And I will take ownership and responsibility for the life I live. Because every action you take, every action you make, there's a consequences. That action will meet you in your future. Yeah? So where we are today in life, it's a result of the decisions we made, the actions we took. So our lives is the sum of actions we took, decisions we've made, good or bad. We are where we are because of the decisions we made. I'm sure somebody will be on this line and go, no, I'm here because somebody did me wrong. They stole my identity. Somebody left me. I'm divorced because of this. I lost a job, or COVID-19. So understand, we all will have a reason why we are where we are. Up or down, good or bad. But let's stop for a moment. Some things are out of your control, and that until you die, understand things will be out of your control. But the things that you do control, your attitude, of decisions you make, that is the sum total of where you are today. COVID-19 put aside. I think COVID is in its own, I don't know, its own category. But even within the 6 months of being closed for COVID, there are some decisions that we've made, right? We've had to make decisions. And those decisions, maybe not today, but in the future they will meet us, and we have to own that. What do we do? In lockdown, we had months and months to be home. The electrical company did not turn off your bill, the water company, the cable company, everything was just on hold. Like the world was on hold. So here's where I say you are responsible. Even though COVID was not your fault, losing your job and everything was not your fault, here is where you need to take responsibility. What did you do in lockdown? What did you do with your time? Take ownership. Did you up-level your education? Did you reach out and rekindle relationships? All the people who you've always told, man, we got to get together. When I have time, I'll call you. You had nothing but time. I had nothing but time. What did you do with that time? Are we taking ownership for that hundreds of hours we spent at home? Are we taking ownership for successes as well as failures in our lives? That's what we want to talk about today. Unless we truly take ownership and master the responsibility game, I believe that we'll be just treading water for life, just treading water until we decide to take ownership, right? Let's own your position in the world. And here's a cool thing. You decide where you stand in that line. You decide, you and you alone, as an adult, if you're an adult, decide where you stand in life. You see, I'm like totally, rarely can I not find the words, but I tell you, where you are in your life, your position in this world is solely up to you. What people think is none of your business. How people treat you has nothing to do with you. How you react and how you behave to how they treat you has to do with you. Taking ownership of somebody who did something, excuse my expression, stupid, for the stupidity and the main dark evil in this world, it happens. It will always happen until we die. I don't ever think people in the world will ever come together in the way we should. Love each other and just coexist, right? That whole synergy, I don't know. I think is a myth. Because if it should have happened, it would have happened already because of social media. I don't see it happening. We are more divided than ever. So here's the key thing. How are you showing up in your life? How are you showing up in the world? What are you taking ownership? And what is your position? I'm not going to say in your house or on your street or in your city or in your state or in your church. No, what is your position in the world? And are you taking ownership for it? Whether you scale up, are you above average? If you think you are, you are. Do you think you're below average? If you think you are, you are. Do you excel and exceed? If you think you do, you will. Because it's all about the mindset. And in previous videos, we talked about that, right? If you think you're great, and let me remind you if you don't, because that's a whole nother video. You have to understand, you have to believe in yourself and know that you are awesome. You are amazing. I'll have to remember to tell you that every time we meet. You are amazing. Do you hear me? You are incredibly, the way you are made is just beyond you and I, beyond what we can understand. You are created so wonderfully. Your hair is perfect. Your eyes, your nose, your teeth, your skin, everything about you is just perfect. And whatever you think is not perfect, you are loved in your imperfection. And that's how I want you to show up in the world. Knowing that you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you're just fabulous. I gotta cross my leg on that one. You are fabulous. You are truly amazing. And own that position in the world. Step up on your soapbox, excuse my expression. Not trying to be oh, you're going to step in your soapbox to look down at others, but take your position of greatness in this world and own that. Now, on the flip side of that, have you assessed, and this is what we need to do in this video, have you assessed some of your failures? You know, does what you say match what you do, right? We all have failed, but have you taken ownership for it? Have you said, I have hurt so-and-so. I have backstabbed. I have failed somebody. I have failed myself in not doing this or that. Are you? Have you? Because obviously this is easier said than done, that this is what I say and this is what I do. But the goal in your life, to be successful in your life, to be able to make extra money and maintain it and grow it, is to make sure that what you say matches what you do in all areas of your life. I hope I don't sound preachy. I don't mean to. I get passionate about people leveling up, rising up, growing up, and getting better, becoming the best version of themselves. I am very passionate about that. Really, I am. So make sure that you take your position on your little stage in life and just crush it. Just crush your position where you are. Just grow where you're planted and just crush it and be great in your greatness. Will you do that for me? I want you to do that. Here's some tips. Let's talk about a few tips that will help you with your responsibility game and just committing to being a better person with failure. So first off, say no. Get good at saying no. No, 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 no. I can't, I won't, I will not, period. Unapologetically, I can't go. That's it. Sometimes we have to say no. Oftentimes, and I say this is because oftentimes we say yes because we feel guilty, and then we put ourselves in situations that put you so far back spiritually or emotionally that you wish you had said yes. Or if you don't know how to say no, just don't answer the phone, don't answer the email, don't answer the social media, whatever don't answer it. Just wait until it's over and then go, hey, I just didn't have time to check your text, whatever. I'm not saying to lie. Just ignore it until you learn to say no. Just learn to say no. That would really help you with ownership, because a lot of times we, again, take on things has nothing to do with us, and it causes us to be in a place of just guilt or failure, and then we don't take ownership, or we do take ownership and we live with that for far too long. Set boundaries, set limits. For friends, families, for associate, just set boundaries and have them respect that. Set boundaries for yourself, and commit to your boundaries. And if you if you break those boundaries, take ownership and say to yourself, man, I should not have had that extra drink. In fact, I should not have drank at all if I was driving. Set your boundaries and live by them. Have integrity in that way. Oh, I should not. See this dude right here? That one? I just should not have gone out with him. Set your boundaries and live by them. You'll have a better life. And I'm not saying just lock yourself like clink, clink and never enjoy life. But I think you know better than most people around you what's good for you and what's not good for you. So set your boundaries. If you don't know, reach out for help and just ask the people in your inner circle that you really trust and that has your best interest at heart, and the people that are serving you best. So ask those people, not everybody, not anybody, but ask the right people. Okay? Hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable for your failures, for your successes, right? Hold yourself accountable for use of your time, use of your money. I don't have any money. Why? You spent it. Unless somebody else stole it, you spent your money. Just saying. right? Oh, I don't have any time and run out of time. Why? Because you watch 9 episodes, not 2 or 3, 9 episodes in one day, one weekend on Netflix. So hold yourself accountable of the use of time, the use of money, education, but I don't have the education they need. They're hiring. Why don't you have education? If you didn't have the money to go to a formal education school, trade school, you could have volunteered. I can give you a testimony of how for years I have volunteered at a local church in Tampa. I used to, I don't anymore. And do you know I used that experience and it has gotten me to places beyond what my education could have. Even I use that on resumes to get management position because you know what I did at that church? I managed volunteers. 80, many of them are older than me, some are younger than me. I've had to learn skills. In fact, I even went to HCC, which is our local college, to take a course on people skills because I just felt like these people are going to drive me crazy. But that was just unpaid volunteer time that served me well financially in the future. So when you say, I don't have the money for the education, oftentimes volunteering or giving back will pay you back. That's not why we do it, but it will pay you back. Just saying, to hold yourself accountable. Establish and enforce your guidelines for your what? Core values. We keep talking about the core values. So establish and enforce your guideline for your core values. And only you can do that. You alone can do that. Last but not least, assess the consequences, right? If you have children, you work with children. If you're a teacher like I have been, and you've worked with children, I'm sure at the beginning of each class, there has to be guidelines. Yeah, we call them rules, guidelines. I got rid of saying the word rules years ago. But in school or in the classroom, these are the rules, right? These are the guidelines. In one of my class, we're performing arts people, hey, rule number 1 is you must have fun. So we forced them to have fun. But anyways, so for yourself, assess the consequences. So you have guidelines, you have core values for your life. If you choose to break them, if you choose to just ignore them, there will be consequences. Case in point, you go to the supermarket to buy almond milk. I'm thinking about what I got today. You go to the supermarket, I need almond milk and I need a pack of tea. But you choose to go down the long way, right? Instead of going down the milk aisle and the tea aisle, you just went all around the store. Why? Go to the milk aisle. It's normally on the edge of the store, and go down the tea aisle. But you choose to wander around the store, and what would have cost you $7, you came out of that store $35.25 later, or maybe $52 later. What's the consequences? The consequences if you did not prepare for that money, and you say, yes, I have that money, but it wasn't budgeted for all the extra stuff that's in your cart. Tea and almond milk. Tea and almond milk. That's it. Discipline yourself and assess the consequences. Another example. So, you didn't plan to get a massage this month, this week, whatever. But you went on, just these bing, 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 these things, the notification comes up on your phone. Does it come up on your phone like it does on mine? And you see that somebody like Pier 1, oh, I love that store. They have Amazon, they have great sales. So you just decide to buy something for $300 that was totally not in your budget for this week, this month, this paycheck. What's the consequences? Think about that. So you ate the whole cheesecake. I'm guilty. So you ate the whole cheesecake, y'all. You didn't share the cheesecake. You ate the entire cheesecake by yourself. Assess the consequences. If you think the cheesecake will just go through you, you're lying to yourself because it's going to stick somewhere. I'm just saying. So assess the consequences of eating, and my family will understand this too. Eating an entire cheesecake by yourself in a couple of days. Just saying. There are consequences for spending money you didn't have budget for, or spending too much money, or drinking too much, or eating, in my case, eating the whole cheesecake. there are consequences. So guess what? I want you to assess the consequences of every action you take financially. So to point, what is your call to action for me today for day number 5, right? I want you to think through this process. Guess what you're going to do? You will think about 3 things you did this week, and you will, I would say, I don't want to say they're failures, but 3 things you did that you didn't own up to, and I want you to think through the process and assess the consequences. Mine was eating the whole cheesecake. I just didn't want to waste the cheesecake, and it was really good. So I want you to think of 3 things. You know, you went to the store for tea and almond milk, but you spent $52. So you're going to think of 3 things you did. They're not necessarily failures, but you're going to own up to them, and you're going to say, because I did this, the consequences, or the consequence, well, there'll be consequences because you have to do 3 things. The consequences are these. Okay, so that's your call to action today. I hope I didn't sound preachy, because sometimes I get so passionate that people think I'm preaching at them. But no, I'm sweet. Yeah, I try to be. My goal, I have such passion to help you get out of your financial rut and to increase your wealth. I truly have a new passion. This is like a new, in a way, I'm realizing now that I might have been selfish all these years, just saying, my money is my money, I'll mind my own business. I'm not letting people know how much money I do or do not have. I didn't even discuss this ever publicly, but I'm realizing it was a disservice to my friends, my family, to the world, to not share some of the knowledge that I have learned about multiple streams of income, making extra money, and increasing my wealth. I have not been of great service to friends and family, and I'm on a fast track to make that up. Guilt? No guilt. Just now taking ownership for not helping people that I felt I could have years ago. I remember back in the day, the one thing I did do, to my credit though, is Joseph and I tried to teach our inner circle. At the time, we only did our inner circle because we didn't have a real estate license, but we would bring people together and we would teach seminars on how to buy houses, how to buy them cheap, and how to buy them with none of their own money, or if they had their own money, how to buy it with their own money. So we did seminars like that in the clubhouse. We lived in a gated community, very nice place. And but there was so much more I had learned from mentors, from just great people that I was around that I could have shared. And I just thought, it's none of their business what I have and what I don't have, and it's none of their business. So when you talk about your money, sometimes you have to divulge certain things to people. Yeah. So, I'm just becoming a little bit more liberal with my life and with my information, because I realized I don't have to hold on to this stuff. Really, I can serve someone in a better way. So I hope today that I've served you and help you with the responsibility game to take ownership, and not blame anybody for your failures, and not just celebrate your successes, but celebrate your successes, but your failures, assess them and say, what did I learn from that? So that is the right thing to do, and then you can celebrate that. Just move forward with your life. Yeah? I hope I hope I've added value to your life today, and I just know you're going to crush this course. You will. This is day 5. So 25 more days to go, and you'll be on your way. Many of you are already telling me, yes, I'm already doing this and doing that, but I want you to pump the brakes and get all of the necessary just get clarity of mind and focus before you just run out there and start your new side hustle. So 30 days, you're not going to lose that much. So just walk with me on this journey so that at the end of this 30 days, you have clarity, you have understanding, and whatever you decide to pick up, you're going to do it well. And you're going to show up for that. And you will not just bless yourself and your family, but you'll bless your community and possibly the world. That is my prayer for you. Thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.